Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Susan. So my stats, as you know, I was having a lot of trouble last week, and it's a little better this week. I was really getting super frustrated, and this round has been a difficult one, to say the least. Hasn't been as smooth as round one. So for week 5, Wednesday, February 20th, I was down from the week before was 135.2 and down to 132.6. I've decided to average out how many pounds a week I'm losing so that it's so that I don't get so frustrated and disheartened. So week 5, I was losing 0.37 pounds per day. So not where I'd like to be. I'd like to be at 0.5 or more, but you know, it was close to 0.4 pounds a day, so not horrible. Considering week 4, I lost an average of 0.4, so I guess maybe it is disheartening now that I'm looking at that. Week 3 was a real stinker. I only lost 0.25 pounds a day, so that was, week 2 was the worst. And then at the end of week 1, I'd lost 0.5 pounds a day, I believe. No, end of week 1, 1.4 pounds. And, you know, considering a lot of that was loading weight, that's okay. Week 2 was 0.5 pounds. Week 3 was 0.25. Week 4 was 0.4. And week 5 has been about 0.4. So I'd like to see myself releasing a little more weight than that, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah. So anyways, I was down 3 pounds, or yeah, 3 pounds, almost 3 pounds in a week. So yeah. So this Wednesday, yesterday, I was at 132.6, so my total pounds lost last week was 2.6 pounds. So, like I said, almost 3. On round 2 altogether, I've lost 17.4 pounds, and between rounds 1 and 2, 34.4. As far as measurements go, I measure neck, over bust, under bust, waist, hips, left thigh, left calf, left ankle, right ankle. And if any of you have any any tips as to what I should, you know, what you think works better as far as weight goes, let me know. Because then next round I can add, you know, or inches, next round I can add some other measurements as well. Because for the first round I just did over bust, under bust, waist, hips, left thigh, right thigh. I didn't do neck, I didn't do calves, I didn't do ankles. Anyways, the inches released on week 5 have been 3. My total inches down for round 2 is 10.5, and the total inches released is 33.75. So you're probably thinking, why am I using the word released? I had coffee with a friend of mine who's become a life coach, and she said when you think of weight loss, your subconscious mind is thinking, oh, she's lost some weight, so we better find it and bring it back because it's lost. And because your subconscious mind thinks a lot differently than your conscious mind does. So, and apparently, and I'm going to try this out for sure, and I may actually join one of her workshops. But apparently, you can you can tell your subconscious mind all manner of lies, and it doesn't know any different, so it'll believe that and help you manifest things. So putting things in a positive light all the time and telling your subconscious lies like, I have tons of money to burn. There's no need to worry about, you know, money, or, you know, or I'm really thin and fit, and you know, I feel great, that kind of thing. So if you lie enough to you keep telling yourself these things, your subconscious apparently will retain that. So instead of saying that I've lost weight, certainly, and I thought about it, and I thought, yeah, over, since I've been a kid, I keep losing and regaining and losing and regaining, and maybe it's that mindset of I've lost, every time I lose weight, I gain it back. So maybe there's something to it, so I'm going to test that out. Anyway, that's just, yeah. And quite frankly, happy conscious gal always talks in those terms, and I try to think of it in those terms, but never really took it to heart, and so now I'm really espousing that and seeing what happens. But anyways, back to the stats. Yeah, so it wasn't as up and down. On Thursday, February 14th, I was down 0.6 pounds, but then the Friday I was up 1.2. And then I drank some herbal tea, some Celestial Seasoning Smooth Move herbal tea to get things, to have the poop fairy visit me. So that did happen, and the next day, February 16th, Saturday, I was down 1.4 pounds. And February 17th, I was down 1.6. So the losses I'm having are huge. To me anyway, those seem really huge. But yeah, I'd still like to just see things more even instead of big drops and then gains again. But and then Monday I was up 0.4, so that's not horrible. Tuesday up 0.6, again not horrible, but I'd like to be more on an even keel. And then Wednesday down 1.2 to my 132.6. Today I am up by 0.6 to 132.8, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. We'll see what the next little bit brings. So yeah, my last HCG day will be this Sunday, February 24th, and then I'm on 3 days of the VLCD. So Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then Thursday I have a break. So I've kind of already planned. Obviously, I was hoping to get down to where I wanted to be in 2 rounds, and that's not going to happen, so I'm going to have to go on to round 3. I'm going to wait until after Mother's Day, so I'm going to use the Saturday and the Sunday Mother's Day as my loading days, and then start back on HCG on, I guess it's the 13th, I think, of May. So yeah, so I'll have a big break there, hopefully stabilize well. I'm going to, I've got my menus all sorted. I'm going to go paleo for the most part, except I'm going to probably keep dairy in there. I'm not really a milk drinker, but I like having a latte now and then, or a tea latte, whether it's tea or coffee latte. I love yogurt, I love cottage cheese, I love cheese, period. I love cheese, absolutely. Yeah, so I'll probably keep some cheese, some yogurt, some sour cream, cottage cheese, and a little bit of milk in my diet. So paleo is none of that. But yeah, so I'm going to try and go paleo for the most part, except, like I said, with those exceptions. But it's a no-grain diet. For those of you that don't know about the paleo diet, there are no grains in paleo. So you get all your carbs from your fruits and vegetables. And again, they are big on the non-starchy vegetables more than the starchy ones. So I had my metabolic typing done a few years ago, and by a registered nutritionist, and I did turn out to be a protein type. So she had said at that time she recommended no more than half a cup of grains a day, and whereas my diet was largely based on grains and then vegetables and fruits and protein, and then at the very tip of the little food pyramid, fats. So with that, bearing that in mind, that I was probably kind of almost I should be more of an upside down triangle. I'm going to try the paleo, so I won't be having any grains whatsoever. So I guess vegetables will be at the top of my food pyramid, followed by proteins and fats, and fruits, that kind of thing. And like I said, I'm going to throw some dairy in there. So we'll see how that goes for me. and I'll take you along on that journey as well until I start my third round. I had a few questions about what my goal weight is. I'm 5'3", a little over 5'3", but not quite 5'4", and you know, so yeah, so for all intents and purposes, I'm 5'3". So I'd like to end up somewhere between 105 and 120 pounds. That's a healthy weight for me, I believe. I haven't been down as low as 105 since I was a teenager and was modeling, but I didn't look good at that weight, and my period stopped. But I'll see. Like, I've been 115 when I've done HCG injections previously, and I think nobody said I looked emaciated or like I was from Auschwitz or anything like that. So I think 115 is a realistic goal. 105 may be a little unrealistic, but we'll see. I mean, my body will do what it wants to do. I mean, you know, if it gets down to 115 or 110 or even 120 and it just doesn't want to release any more weight, then so be it. Then I'll be happy with that. But I definitely would like to maintain 120 by the end of round 3, and then for the rest of my life stay within that, somewhere between, you know, I guess ideally 112 is what I'd like, but again, that may well be unrealistic for me. And then maybe in my This Week in HCG Beauty, I will talk a little bit about my last experience with HCG injections, why I regained the weight, and then maybe a bit about my history. Anyways, if you guys have, I was going to say, I'm trying something a little different. I was looking at Del Mem's old video, or not old, but his videos, and at one point he had decided to try his half a dose of HCG in the morning and then half 12 hours later. So I am trying that to see if that works a little more, to have more of a consistent, taking it every 12 hours to see if I have more of a consistent release of weight. And as well, I'm going to try to stick to only one fruit, have a grapefruit in the morning for breakfast or sometime, and then instead of having, you know, or an apple or whatever, and then instead of having a second fruit, have an extra helping of fish instead. So essentially one fruit, 2 vegetables, although I never get in more than one because I'm eating to hunger and I'm just not that hungry. And then I generally have been having, like I said, 2 fruits, 1 protein, 1 vegetable. So I'm really trying to force myself to eat, so I should have 1 fruit, 2 vegetables, and 3 protein servings. So I'll see if that affects how the release goes in this last week. It's a week of experimentation because I'm hoping that by the end of this week, by the end of round 1, that I can be at 130. That's my goal for this round. It was really more like 125 when I started, but that is now seeming to be unrealistic. So considering I'm at 132.8 today, I don't think it's realistic to get down in the next few days, less than a week, get down to 125. So I will be happy to finish round 2 at 130, and I'm going to try, like I said, that's 2.8 pounds to lose by next Wednesday. So I'll let the chips fall where they may. I'll experiment a little and see how that works for me. It may give me some extra clues into how to make round 3 a really successful one. Okay, well, until next time, stay healthy, stay successful, and keep releasing. And any tips and tricks and advice you can give me would be much appreciated. And please tune into the This Week in HCG Beauty. And until next week, bye.